So here's an update to a video I covered last week, which is titled, After Catching Wife on Video, Husband Secretly Prepares for War, Now Papers Are Ready. And as a recap, that's about the husband who walked in on his wife and a friend of theirs hooking up. Turns out they were so drunk they didn't even notice he came in the room. So even though he was shocked by this, whipped out his phone, took a couple recordings, and left. I guess they were facing a different direction or something. You can imagine the logistics in that. And anyhow, he spent the last 2 years going through different moves, if you will, to prepare for the divorce. Because he knew darn well he couldn't just divorce her right then and there and let her know he knew or serve her, because he would lose out badly. So he spent the last 2 years crafting everything together to get rid of her. And now, as at the end of the last video, that's where he was. Well, this update here is also a continuation of him giving more details about what he was going through during those last couple of years, and of course where he is right now. So since a lot of you guys like updates, I'm doing this. So he says here, since the time of my initial post, some have since inquired as to how I was able to get her to relinquish her rights to the house. Below are the details. Yeah, she signed away, her share of the house. Well, at one point, when she was deep in the midst of her affair, she approached me and stated that she no longer wishes for us to stay together, and she wishes for us to separate so that she could sleep with other men. Notice that. It's not because she wants to find love or something like that. No, she wants to separate so she can sleep with other men. And maybe she likes the act of hooking up, but probably it's just about the attention and validation and the butterflies and the chase and all that. I was then faced with contemplating two options. Option A, she leaves and shacks up with the affair partner and then cleans me out since she and I did not have a prenup. Or B, I tell her that I would like to work on repairing the relationship and then work towards negotiating a postnup while I still had the home team advantage and having an open line of communication with her as we continue to live together. So obviously he doesn't want that, but he's doing this to minimize the damage. Enter rule number 1 with cheaters: believe what they do, not what they say they will do. In other words, pay attention to people's actions. Yes, although she said that she had no intention of cleaning me out, her actions spoke otherwise. Gee, there's a surprise. For she had already begun funneling large sums of money to the affair partner and was also pregnant with his child, both of which she kept secret along with the affair. So they're still married, and the house and all that. And assumingly family knows they're together, and she's not only having an affair, but she's also pregnant with his baby. I mean, this chick, you want to talk about absolute disrespect towards this guy. How he's able to keep it cool, I don't know. Well, this trifecta of untruths meant that option A was off the table, which only left me with option B. However, my plan gloriously backfired when she refused to sign a postnup. Shocker. Why would she cut off the gravy train? So I backed off, waited a few months until she calmed down, and approached her again about the postnup. But again, she refused to sign. The cycle repeated itself over and over again for about a year until it became excruciatingly evident that she knew exactly what she was doing. Yes, she knew what she was doing. Women aren't stupid. She knew she had all the leverage here. But time is on his side. She had orchestrated a sweet arrangement for herself where she had a young dude who was giving her action on the side, and an older dude, me, who was paying for the roof over her head. Welcome to today's world. Accepting failure after a year, I then regrouped and formulated a different strategy. Stop gray rocking her, but instead play nice, cater to her every need, and allow her to gradually grow to feel guilty for taking advantage of me, and see if she eventually changes her tone. Number 1, she's not going to feel guilty. In fact, she's going to probably resent him more for going along with this. But he could maybe get her in a position, because she's already in lots of positions with her guy, to do something stupid. It was a long shot, but it was worth the shot. So I hunkered down and took the shot. And then finally, after 2 years, she agreed to relinquish her rights to the house. Hey, there you go. Who knows what happened, but he had to play the game. It's fucking crazy he had to do this. I then instructed my lawyer to draw up the papers, which she then reviewed with her lawyer, and within 2 weeks, the ink was dry and the deal was done. Well, what did she think was going to happen here? Well, good, I'm glad she signed it. What, he use a Jedi mind trick on her or something? Cast a spell on her to do this? Well, on to part 2. It says, while attending an event this past weekend, I was chatting with 2 attractive women who were waiting in line in front of me. As we get to the front of the line and proceed to part ways to go to our respective seats, one of the young women comes back to me and asks, "Can I have your phone number?" Hey, I think this guy could use a little feel-good moments like this to boost his confidence, but be careful. In my 50-some years, I have never been asked out by a woman in my life, and this is complete uncharted territory for me. That's because you're old school. So I oblige and give her my phone number, and then she offers her number in return, and we go on to the event. Well, that's a good feeling. She's chasing him, wants his number, offers hers, he didn't ask for it. Well, fast forward to today, and we've been chatting nonstop, which is something I did not anticipate. Well, if you give her your number and she gives you your number, you're going to chat. She's going to reach out to you. Be careful. Even though it's only been 2 days, we've covered a lot of ground thus far, but now I'm ready to tell her that I'm in the final stages of splitting up with my ex, and I'm worried, shirtless, that I'm going to F this whole thing up. Dude, slow down. This is just some chick that in the moment, you were looking good, acting comfortable, liked you, and gave you her number. This is not your future wife. Don't be ridiculous here. You better be careful. You don't want this to mess up your divorce. But yes, honesty is a good thing. She's really nice, and I want to be 100% transparent with her about my situation well ahead of us actually having a first date. How the hell do you navigate this ship, and have any of you been in a situation like this and did not F it all up? Plenty of guys have been like this, but just relax. Please do chime in, my beloved fellow non-cheaters. I'm open to any and all suggestions here. He also says here, the toss-out on my soon-to-be ex is still in play for this month, but this new curveball has unexpectedly come my way from the gods, so here I am. Life, right? I know I gotta be careful not to rebound into another relationship. Yeah. It may fizzle out to nothing, but considering that she approached me, I'll lay out my position. Nothing serious, take it slow. Now I'm gonna read more details about things he reveals, but bottom line is, and the last thing he said, he's throwing out his wife this month. Whatever reason, that's how it is. He's got her to sign over the house and all that. He's going to make out much better if he played. He's making out much better since he waited 2 years and played the chess match with her. But as with this girl, guys, if you're going through a divorce, be very careful because it can come back to bite you in the butt big time. Okay, he's feeling good that some girl expressed interest in him. Cool. It's been a long time. But don't lose it over some chick paying attention to you. There are plenty of them out there. Okay? But yes, if you're going to be transparent, be honest, and take it slow. Maybe you have someone you're acquainted with now, and then you can maybe see later on. But I think he's just so beside himself to get female attention because he's been treated like shit by his wife for so long. But anyhow, don't get crazy here. It's just some chick. Now, he responds to a bunch of comments people were asking about, and I'll read them here. One guy, he says here, the over $300,000 that I saved by taking the slow approach with tossing my ex out is 100% worth the wait. But yes, I agree, every action comes with consequences. My first priority is tossing the ex out so nothing can be allowed to derail that plan. Then don't get involved with some chick, dude. Stick to your core plan here. If this new lady is not okay with that and does not want to wait, then that's perfectly fine, and I will then cordially close things off with her. Dude, you just been talking to her. Relax. Another one. The thought of a retaliatory smear campaign was indeed very tempting. Initially, I was going to go full blast on her, but I decided not to, and it worked out in my favor. If I smear her, even though it's the truth, she can flip back and start spreading false statements about me, and that's a downward spiral for me. Yeah, dude, she could do that. He has every right to, I wouldn't call it a smear campaign, it's just telling the truth. You got to control the narrative, you know. Now, clearly they haven't announced the divorce yet, but I would say once the divorce happened, he can just tell people, well, he doesn't have to get into all the details, like I walked in on them hooking up. I mean, he's got video of it, but, yeah, all it takes is her saying a lot of nasty things about him. The cops can show up, but he needs to control the narrative, but be smart about it. He says, so I'm just going to continue staying the course and a current path of calm. I've shown the videos to a few close confidants over the past 2 years, but I'll just leave it at that, at least for now. Well, she will know, if she doesn't know already, he's got video footage of her, and that's all he needs, because that could hurt her, but also women really care about their reputation. They really care how they're perceived to the outside world. So if she knows he has evidence here, and it can be shown, that might keep her in line. We'll see. But all she has to do is have some emotional reaction and not think straight, and things can happen. So anyhow, that's what's going on. We'll probably have an actual update down the road with him actually throwing her out and her reaction there, and I'm sure it ain't going to go as smoother than he thinks. But our guy here's moving on, and there's more details about why he took things for 2 years and the different things he tried. You guys were interested in the story, so that's why I did it. So stay tuned. We'll see how things go along with him in the future when he actually sends her packing out of the house.